Now, in the Commission, we are directly involved in the appraisal of projects. In our code is an operation, basically a project. So projects are being assessed above a certain threshold, and there are two thresholds, 25 million for environment and 50 million for any other project. So any project above those two thresholds, total investment cost, needs to be screened by the Commission before its financing. That's where myself and some of my colleagues are working in screening those projects. And in line with the member states' programs and these budgets I was speaking about, we have counted like 949 projects with a total investment of 125 billion. Now, this is our limit up numbers. These are maximum ideal numbers. I'm sure we will not reach those numbers, but in any case, this is where we are the starting base, the benchmark if we were to be achieving 100% the objectives in this period. As an information also, the average size of projects is about in the range of the 150 to 100 million, but of course there are smaller projects depending on the area, like environment or like smaller projects in RTD where you don't have such big numbers. Despite the sharp deterioration in the landscape, we had quite a significant inflow of projects, and we have been receiving 234 projects so far, some from the UK. These have not been all approved. 4 countries, Poland, Spain, Romania, and country account for about 50% of those projects. In terms of investment, they represent 40 billion in new investments, national, private, and community funds together. And they represent about a fifth of all the projects selected so far. So at this stage, by the end of 2009, about 27% of EU funding had been allocated. So this is like a quarter of all the funding. The project number is small. I mean, I told you the 949. This is small in comparison to our benchmark, but still we expect quite substantial number of projects in the next years. On this slide, I show you the number. So the flow, there was quite a lot of projects coming in the second half of 2009, and this is the number of projects approved. In relation to the UK, we have received so far 6 major projects, and I think you will be pleased to note that some of them are in the broadband area and in research and development, less so in the classic road basic transport infrastructures. Now, a third, when we are talking about sources of funding, a third of the funds will come from, the total cost is 600 million, and a third will come from ERDF. And as you can see, there is quite substantial private financing involved. And of course, that makes it much more interesting. In the UK, now this is small, certainly, in the UK case, but the whole envelope is small. But still, when you look at other projects in the past, you can see how these projects may have quite an important, significant impact when you think locally and regionally. So I was looking at project fishes from the previous period, and one of the projects I would mention is the Eastport outer harbour. Well, this was the only major project funded under the Objective 2 program in east of England. And what is interesting about this project is, okay, its potential in terms of tourism and local transport, but its potential also impact on the development of the wind farm industry offshore in the region, as it's a port which is ideally located to recap from those, to benefit from that development. In Liverpool, which is the slide there, we have the King's Dock development, and well, this investment was co-financed by the ERDF, and it's one of the successful investments which has enabled Liverpool to break into the Europe's top 50 convention league table, and maybe in UK's top 5, spurring therefore the economic activity in the city and demonstrating the power of such projects on the local economy mixed.